Good evening. Would you please stand for our honor guard? Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Good evening and welcome. My name is Deputy Chief Jeff Jamrez. Tonight we are honoring our officers, employees, citizens, and friends of the Evanston city that have all gone above and beyond the call of duty to promote the quality of life in this community. Joining us this evening to present the awards are Chief Richard Eddington and Mayor Elizabeth Tisdall. Also joining in the audience this evening is 6th Ward Alderman Mark Tendam, 7th Ward Alderman Jane Grover, 8th Ward Alderman Ann Rainey, Wally Bobkowitz, our city manager, Chief Greg Klaber from the fire department, and our members of our clergy team who helped us celebrate a police appreciation day throughout the day at the Evanston Police Department. Today we recognize their actions with awards, and I will read off the following categories. The Valor Award, the highest form of recognition. The Valor is awarded for an act of outstanding bravery or heroism. The Commendation. The second highest form of recognition, the Commendation is awarded for highly credible or unusual acts in the performance of police duties. Honorable Mention. The third highest form of recognition, the Honorable Mention is awarded for outstanding police work such as singularly solving serious crime or through individual initiative apprehending a criminal in the act of committing a crime. The Certificate of Recognition. The fourth level of recognition, the Certificate of Recognition, is awarded for an act of service normally unexpected in the course of everyday duties and therefore deserving of recognition because of its special circumstances. The Letter of Appreciation. This award is a formal letter of appreciation from the Chief of Police. The Police Service Commendation. Special projects and/or dedication of duty deserve the highest honor and recognition. The nominee will have accomplished something which brought special credit to the department or to the city of Evanston. The Unit Citation. This award is presented to a bureau or specialty unit in recognition of combined efforts to accomplish the mission and goals of the police department. And the Chief's Special Award. These special awards are presented to members or citizens based on exceptional service or contributions. And lastly, the Officer of the Year Award. Drawn from any rank, the Officer of the Year is unique in having shown consistent and exemplary support of the department's mission and value statement, including support of the department's police and community partnership. Deputy Chief Parrott.
I'm here to mention an award that was not on the original list that Deputy Chief Jammer has read. This is an award that was developed this year, and this is for the presidential visit to the city of Evanston that occurred last year. On Thursday, October 2nd, 2014, the city of Evanston was honored with a visit from President Barack Obama to Northwestern University's Conn Hall. The last time a sitting president visited Evanston was Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1954. Security and timely logistics are imperative to ensuring the safety of the President of the United States. Extensive planning and coordination with the U.S. Secret Service, Northwestern University Police, Chicago Police, and the Illinois State Police allowed for this visit to occur without issue. This was in part due to the dedication and professionalism exhibited by the Evanston police personnel assigned to this detail. In addition, would also like to acknowledge the logistics that were provided and the assistance provided by various city staff and city officials, specifically the Public Works Department. For their service, a special award is being designated for Evanston police personnel. It's called the POTUS Detail Award. An award ribbon resembling the American flag with a gold star will be issued to all personnel assigned that day on the detail. Those will be issued at a later date due to the fact that there's approximately 62 personnel that will be getting that award. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Deputy Chief Aretha Barnes. Would Monica Correio, Regional Manager of JetBlue Airlines, accepting on behalf of Robin Hayes, CEO of JetBlue Airlines, please come forward? In December 2014, 2 officers from the New York City Police Department were killed in the line of duty. As the CEO of JetBlue Airlines, you offered law enforcement officers from around the nation free round-trip airfare in order to attend the funeral services for the officers. Because of your generosity, 2 officers from the Evanston Police Department were able to attend the funeral to honor the fallen officers and show support for the members of the New York City Police Department in their time of tragedy. For your generosity and dedication to honor the fallen police officers and bond the police community together, we present you with the Evanston Police Department Police Service Commendation Award. Thank you. Thank you. Would Marisa Nohokas and Matthew Morin please come forward? Okay, thank you. Ms. Nahokas advised that her husband is not here tonight. On August 10, 2014, you and Matthew looked out of your window and observed an unknown subject rummaging through a vehicle in your driveway. You continued to observe the subject even after he exited the vehicle and walked away. Staying calm and focused, you provided the telecommunicator with the offender's description and location. Due to your keen observations and willingness to act, an offender was arrested and removed from the streets. For your assistance, we present each of you with these certificates of recognition. The next speaker at the podium will be Commander James Pickett.
Good evening. With Animal Warden David Rose, our animal shelter Lori Dubuque could not be with us tonight due to a death in the family. Elisa Kaplan, Vicky Pansenko, Kathy Roberts, Meredith Reeves, Jill Cabot, Diane Valletta, Ruth Ann Haddish, and Alderman Jane Grover. Please come forward. During the transition of the Evanston Animal Shelter, you all, as dedicated city employees, public servants, and citizens, stepped up to handle the day-to-day functions of running the animal shelter. For your tireless work and dedication, we present each of you with these letters of appreciation. In addition to those named, I would like to verbally extend my appreciation for the following city staff who work to support the efforts of the shelter staff, board members, and volunteers. Mayor Tisdale, City Manager Wally Bobkowitz, Chief Richard Eddington, Deputy Chief Aretha Barnes, Administrative Secretary Michelle Smith, Budget Finance Manager Lou Gerkitz, and Community Engagement Specialist Charlize Agnew. Thank you very much. Deputy Chief Jamrez, please step up.
Would Officer Ryan Kerrigan please come forward? I think he unexpectedly couldn't make it, but I will read his accomplishment. On May 1st, 2014, multiple vehicle burglaries had occurred during the overnight hours in our Beat 75 on the north side end of the city. On May 2nd, 2014, he requested a ride bicycle patrol in that Beat 75. His strategy allowed him to observe two subjects commit a vehicle burglary. Upon seeing the criminal activity, a foot chase ensued, and he successfully apprehended one of the subjects. He was able to obtain the location of the subject's vehicle, which led to the apprehension of a second subject. Proceeds from the vehicle burglaries were recovered, and he successfully obtained confessions to their crimes. His diligence and self-initiated activity resulted in the offender that he stopped being charged with multiple serious offenses. We presented him with the Honorable Mention Award. Would Officer Luis Velez please come forward? I believe he's unexpectedly unavailable here. On February 23rd, 2014, he conducted a traffic stop in the 1100 block of Dodge for a minor traffic violation. Upon approaching the vehicle, he identified a violent convicted felon and gang member in the back seat of that vehicle. He identified probable cause to search the vehicle, and after assessing the situation, directed backup officers to his location. A search of the vehicle produced a stolen revolver from the back seat near the convicted felon. His tactics, attention and detail, and calm demeanor while dealing with a dangerous situation allowed for this incident to have a safe conclusion. Would Officer Willie Hunt please come forward? During the early morning hours on July 4th, 2014, you assisted officers responding to 923 Davis for a burglary investigation. A subject had forced entry into the building and stolen multiple items. A possible offender was not located on the scene, but you continued searching the area. Using excellent observation skills, you were able to follow leads which eventually led to the location of the offender. Due to your experience and willingness to conduct a thorough investigation, you were able to locate the offender who was appropriately charged. Congratulations. Would Officer Martin Neal please come forward? On July 17th, 2014, you conducted a traffic stop in the area known for gang activity and gun violence. You were able to establish probable cause to have the driver exit the vehicle and subsequently conducted a pat-down of that subject. This led to a further search of the interior of the vehicle. Your thorough investigation during this traffic stop resulted in recovery of a loaded .45 caliber handgun, a body armor, and ski mask. Your self-initiated and proactive traffic enforcement led to the arrest of a dangerous suspect and prevented the subject from committing further future crimes, making the community a safer place for Evanston residents. Congratulations. Would Officer Richard Shanus and Officer Bart Diziela please come forward? On June 15, 2014, you both observed the vehicle violate several traffic laws and subsequently conducted a traffic stop on said vehicle. Upon approaching the vehicle using your excellent observation skills, you observed a handgun in the passenger's right jacket pocket. You used loud verbal commands to take control of the subjects inside the vehicle. The passenger with the handgun initially complied, but then ran from the traffic stop. You pursued the subject on foot. After a physical struggle with the subject, you were able to take him into custody. Upon further investigation, the handgun was located in close proximity to the physical altercation. Your bravery in pursuing a subject you knew to be armed underlines your dedication to the Evanston Police Department. Congratulations. Would Detective Mikhail Geyer, Detective Brian Hicks, and Detective Kenneth Carter, please come forward. On July 18th, 2014, you and your partners conducted a street stop in front of the Fleetwood Jourdain Community Center. You made contact with a known gang member who had previous arrests for weapons offenses. You remained calm in a potentially dangerous situation. You kept the subject calm, observing him that he had a weapon on his person. Due to your observation skills, keen situational awareness, and excellent memory, a handgun was recovered without incident from the subject. Your actions resulted in an armed offender being removed from the streets of the city of Evanston. Congratulations. Deputy Chief Parrott.
I'm now going to present the certificates of recognition. Would Canine Officer Sosa and his partner Roney please come forward? On June 15th, 2014, you and your partner, Canine Roney, responded to the area of the CTA tracks near the 1400 block of Brummel to assist officers who had a subject flee a traffic stop on foot. The subject who fled was observed by initial contact officers to have a handgun in his jacket pocket. You and your partner conducted a search of the area where the subject was taken into custody, and you also located the handgun the subject had on his person. You and your partner conducted a thorough search which assisted the initial officers being able to charge the subject with multiple serious offenses. We present you with this certificate of recognition for your actions. If you could remain up here for one more time, please. It's always nice to catch them off guard. They don't expect it. On October 18th, 2014, a juvenile reported being threatened by a male subject who displayed a handgun. The juvenile tried to walk away and reported being followed by several male subjects. You responded to the area and located a group of subjects who matched the description provided by the juvenile. As a result of those subjects being stopped, a handgun was located. A thorough investigation was completed and the appropriate offender was charged accordingly. Due to your keen observations, command presence, and interview skills, a handgun was eliminated from the streets of Evanston and a subject was charged with a felony. For your actions, we present you with this certificate of recognition. Would Officer Matthew Curley and Officer Ivan Reza please come forward? On January 8th, 2014, you responded to a report of a man with a gun inside an apartment complex at 860 Hinman Avenue. You and your fellow officers were informed that a handgun was visible within the apartment at that location. You made a tactical entrance into the apartment to secure the weapon and the apartment's occupant. Your quick response and tactical actions resulted in an extremely dangerous and violent situation having a safe conclusion. For your actions, we both present you with these certificates of recognition. Officer Reza, if you could please remain up here for one more minute. Thank you. On February 5th, 2014, you backed up a traffic stop in the area of 1214 Hartree Avenue. During the traffic stop, you observed a subject in the back seat who was known to you to have an active warrant for his arrest. Based on this knowledge, you removed the subject from the vehicle, at which point you observed a shotgun on the floorboard. Your knowledge of the subject and the warrant allowed for not only a violent offender to be apprehended, but also for a gun to be taken off the streets. For your actions, we present you with the certificate of recognition. Would Detective Stephen Klopak please come forward? On January 24th, 2014, you executed a search warrant at 6972 North Sheridan Road in Chicago's Rogers Park neighborhood. You obtained the search warrant after developing a confidential informant who provided you with reliable information. Upon execution, illegal narcotics were located along with 2 handguns. The search warrant resulted in a member of a street gang being arrested and charged with multiple felonies. Your investigative skill and initiative to develop investigative leads made this arrest possible. For your actions, we present you with the certificate of recognition. Detective Klopak, if you could step here for 1 minute, and also if Detective Tom Giese can come forward, please. On February 26, 2014, a search warrant was executed based on your thorough work. You followed investigative leads in order to identify a supplier of cocaine for sales in Evanston. Through surveillance, you were able to pinpoint the residence of the supplier. You furthered the investigation by developing a confidential informant and gathered enough evidence for a search warrant. Upon execution, over 170 grams of cocaine, distribution materials, and currency were recovered. Your efforts to coordinate this investigation led to a large amount of narcotics being taken off the streets and an offender being properly charged. For your actions, we present both of you with certificates of recognition. If you could remain up here for one more time, both of you, please. While investigating gang activity and shots fired calls in the area of 1400 block of Brummel, you used your investigative skills and techniques to obtain information that a known gang member was storing firearms at a residence in the 1400 block of Brummel. You conducted a thorough investigation and were able to obtain a search warrant for the residence. Your diligent investigative work resulted in the recovery of a semi-automatic pistol and an offender being identified and charged accordingly. For your actions, we present each of you with these certificates of recognition. So there's a couple more, so you're going to have to get comfortable. Both Detectives Klopak and Giese, you both worked to investigate information that a subject residing in the 600 block of Grove Street was in possession of firearms. This subject had been previously banned from possessing firearms. Through your investigative means, you were able to obtain a search warrant for the location, which led to the recovery of 2 assault rifles and 3 handguns. If it wasn't for your outstanding investigative skills, these weapons would not have been recovered. For your actions, we present each of you with certificates of recognition. Would Officer Adam Kozlowski and Detective Michael Geyer please come forward to join the 2 detectives that are already up here? On October 7th, 2014, you all responded to the area of Greenwood and Dewey for a report of an armed robbery. Through teamwork, you were able to catch and secure an offender that fled on foot. During his apprehension, you were able to recover a stolen handgun that the subject tried to discard. Due to your tenacity, I had a hard time pronouncing that one, and perseverance, the subject was taken into custody and stolen proceeds were recovered. For your actions, we award you the certificate of recognition. If Detective Geyer could remain up here, and Detective Philip Lang and Detective Tanya Noble please come forward. You received information that a subject in the Evanston area was illegally in possession of an assault-type rifle. You conducted a thorough investigation using surveillance and other investigative techniques, which allowed you to gather enough evidence to obtain a search warrant for the target and his residence. On October 9th, 2014, you successfully executed the search warrant. Due to your diligent work and expertise, you and assisting detectives recovered 2 carbine rifles and 1 shotgun, along with various types of ammunition. The target of the search warrant was charged accordingly, and another criminal was removed from the streets of Evanston. For your actions, we each present you with these certificates of recognition. The next award, I know this detective is presently tied up, but I would like to read, this is for Detective Brian Rust. I'd like to read his award. It states that Detective Rust and your partner received a tip of a gang member in the Evanston area who was selling narcotics and who was also known to be in possession of a handgun. You and your partner conducted a thorough investigation using surveillance and other investigative techniques, which allowed for you to gather enough evidence to obtain a search warrant for the gang member and his residence. On September 1st, 2014, you and your partner and assisting units successfully executed the search warrant. Due to your diligent work and expertise, you and your partner recovered a large amount of narcotics and a .22 caliber Uzi-type handgun. The target of the search warrant was charged accordingly, and another criminal was removed off the streets of Evanston. For those actions, Detective Rust will be presented a certificate of recognition. Unfortunately, we've had some activity tonight that's precluding several personnel from being here right now. Another one would be Sergeant Jody Wright. I'd like to read his accomplishment. On June 9th, 2014, you successfully guided several detectives in the investigations unit to participate in a covert operation in the downtown area to locate bicycle theft offenders. Detectives in your unit recognized and monitored a pattern of bicycle thefts occurring in the downtown area. With the assistance of your dedicated detectives, the bicycle theft offenders were located and arrested. You provided guidance to your unit to work successfully as a team to apprehend offenders who were depriving citizens of their property. For those actions, Sergeant Wright will be awarded the Certificate of Recognition. Would Officer Willie Hunt please come forward? On November 29, 2014, you responded to the 3200 block of Thayer to assist officers who were looking for suspects who fled on foot during a vehicle burglary investigation. Due to your excellent observation skills, you located one of the offenders. Due to your thorough investigation, proceeds were located and returned to the victim. The appropriate offender was charged accordingly. For these actions, we present you with the Certificate of Recognition. This concludes the certificates of recognition, and if Deputy Chief Barnes could please come forward. Thank you.
Would Sergeant Tracy Williams, Officers Michael Trish, Scott Safier, Mark Vandermeer, Daniel Keeler, Stanley Sampson, George Gonzalez, and Towing Coordinator Ronaldo Revelar please come forward? Unfortunately, Mr. Revelar and Officers Safier and Gonzalez could not be here this evening. During 2014, the Traffic Management Bureau worked hard to make the City of Evanston a safer place for motorists, bicyclists, and pedestrians. The unit members earned several awards from the Illinois Department of Transportation and other safety organizations. Through enforcement and education, the traffic unit's efforts related to distracted driving led up to a 17% reduction in traffic crashes in 2014. The unit coordinated 45 special events, which included a visit from the President of the United States. The traffic unit also installed and inspected 346 car seats and processed over 1,100 abandoned vehicles. The traffic unit is being recognized for their combined efforts towards the goals and missions of the Evanston Police Department. For your work and dedication to the citizens of Evanston, we present the traffic unit with this unit citation award. Would Officer Ben Holloman please come forward? Okay, he could not be here this evening. Oh, there he is. I was about to give your award away. Physical fitness and a healthy lifestyle are critical to the law enforcement profession. Your dedication to your personal physical fitness shows your commitment to your position and the community. You have taken it upon yourself to live a healthy life and stay in peak physical form. This act inspires your fellow officers to do the same. Your efforts towards your fitness goals make the Evanston Police Department better as a whole. For your dedication to your physical fitness, we present you with the Fitness Award. Chief Eddington will now present the Chief Special Recognition Awards. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Barnes. I'd like to call forward Detective Mikhail Geyer, Detective Brian Hicks, Detective Phil Lang, Officer Sophia Syed, and Officer Jeremy Sinise. In April 2014, there was a pattern of burglaries to business owners who were buying bulk cigarettes from Sam's Club. They would purchase these cigarettes and then take them to their convenience stores. While en route to their convenience stores, their automobiles were often robbed of these cigarettes while the owner made another stop. This crime pattern came to the attention of our tactical unit, and they started a protracted undercover operation to locate these offenders. We were able to set up an extended surveillance, and the tactical unit was able to apprehend 2 offenders as they broke into our undercover officer's vehicle that had been set up with fake cigarette cartons. The arrestees were members of professional criminal enterprise and were not only responsible for numerous similar crimes throughout the United States, but were also charged with several homicides that occurred in California. The dedication and resourcefulness shown by the members of the tactical unit in apprehending these offenders has distinguished you and helped remove 2 very dangerous criminals from the streets of Evanston and the United States as a whole, because it was a multi-state crime pattern. Thank you for your efforts, gentlemen.
The next award is for Department Valor. This is going to be presented to Sergeant Mark Poya, who unfortunately is on vacation out of the country at the present moment. I would like to read his actions of the award that he's going to get, and I'll be accepting his award on his behalf. On October 16th, 2014, while off duty in a neighborhood establishment watching a football game, 2 armed offenders entered the establishment and announced a robbery. While you were monitoring the offender's actions, another patron attempted to flee the scene by running out the side door of the establishment. One of the offenders gave chase, and after the patron fell to the ground in the parking lot, the offender walked up to him and pointed a handgun directly at his head. Fearing that the offender was about to execute the patron, you disregarded your own safety and engaged this offender in the parking lot, which led to an exchange of gunfire. While you were involved in the exchange of gunfire, the second offender exited the establishment and also began to shoot at you with their handgun. Taking cover behind a parked vehicle, you were able to actively engage both offenders until they fled the scene. Due to your personal courage and bravery, no victims were injured in the incident. Several of the patrons and employees have expressed that if not for your actions, they believe they would have been harmed or killed by the offenders. For Sergeant Poya's outstanding bravery and heroism, we present Sergeant Poya with the highest award of the department, the Award of Valor. Would Detective Anna Ostep please come forward? Detective Ostep is being presented with a departmental commendation. On May 19th, 2014, you responded to Elks Park for a report of a person shot in the park. You observed that the subject was shot multiple times and had one very serious gaping wound to his lower back. You took immediate action to stop the bleeding by placing your hand inside the wound and applying pressure to stop the bleeding. The subject had suffered a catastrophic gunshot wound, and without your quick thinking and medical aid, the subject would not have survived. Your willingness to act and the heroic nature of your actions resulted in the subject surviving his otherwise life-threatening injuries. For your selfless, quick response to save a human life, we present you with the Award of Commendation. Deputy Chief Jamrose.
These next awards are for Officer of the Year and Police Service Commendation. I will be accepting the award on behalf of Detective Brian Bartz, who is receiving the Officer of the Year award. I'll read his accomplishments. For the past several years, Detective Bartz has taken a personal initiative to carry out innovative technology projects that have been beneficial not only to public safety and security within the city of Evanston, but have in many instances helped solve several crimes. He designed and built the overt armored surveillance vehicle, as well as covert surveillance vehicles, which both collect and record video images that can be monitored in real time. Detective Bartz has been directly involved in the installation and strategic placement of stationary video cameras throughout the city that addresses crime prevention issues. He has also been involved in several undercover operations that require the design of clothing and equipment in order to deploy covert audio, video, body-worn equipment to document the investigation. On a daily basis, Detective Bartz has ensured the operating efficiency and repairs of the police department's mobile data terminals and in-car camera equipment. His unique abilities and intelligence in the area of innovation and technology has shown a consistent and high level of work and support of the department's mission and value statement. Officer Anthony Sosa and K-9 Roney, would you please come forward? On October 26, 2014, you and your K-9 partner Roney were assigned to assist officers in locating a handgun that was reportedly discarded by an offender. During a block-long tracking utilization, your K-9 was able to locate the loaded handgun. During a 2-year period, you and Roney had been involved in the recovery of 14 handguns, as well as tracking of several offenders and 80 narcotic-related searches. You and Roney have participated in community events where citizens are able to interact with Roney and observe demonstrations of his abilities. The combination of your sharp policing skills and your dedication to the K-9 program has ensured the success of the program and improved the quality of life for the citizens of our community. For your work and dedication to the citizens of Evanston, we present you with the Police Service Commendation Award. Well, that concludes our awards for this evening. I want to make a special thanks to Shannon Sheriff and Lou Gergitz, who helped put this together, as long as many officer volunteers to put this program together. We thank each of you for your service and dedication to the citizens of the city of Evanston. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and thanks to everyone who came tonight to honor our award recipients. Please join us for some refreshments that are available. Thank you.